Welcome back, Commanders. Today I have a high stakes 1v1 match for you, and I am joined by Daniel. A huge thanks to him for being part of the cast. Be sure to check out his Twitch channel linked in the description. In this game we have Ray, the highest ranked DAK player, bringing out the Italian Infantry Battlegroup. On the other side is Havoc, ranked 5 at the UKF, commanding the formidable Heavy Armor Battlegroup. These are two top 5 players and the game absolutely shows it. Packed with action and intense engagement. There's a lot to learn from this match, so make sure to watch till the end as Daniel will be sharing some fantastic tips that you won't want to miss. Without further ado, let's dive into this epic showdown between Ray and Havoc. So welcome guys, and with me I got casting today is Daniel. So hello Daniel,
hello,
how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited for this game. It's a couple of strong players, and this is one of my favorite 1v1 maps, which I realize is a controversial take, but it is.
Oh yeah, I definitely liked it even more when they changed it. So
on the field.
I think, or at least I like the changes where they put the fuel away from like the church and from the middle at least.
Yeah, it's really interesting now that you have the plus 16. It's very hard to decap, right? So you actually commit to fighting over it. And it makes it much. I think anytime you have a high point by your base, that's going to be a defender's advantage, right? Because it's going to be pretty easy to get a unit in there before it gets decapped.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, but in my own games, I feel like I focus a lot on the top side and going for the enemy cutoff point. But I feel sometimes that because of that, my munis are lacking behind because I maybe overcommit a bit too much on the top side. But
yeah, it can definitely happen, especially if you give up that plus 16. I mean, it's one of those things where if you do manage to take it, it's a pretty big swing in resources, and you have a point outside your opponent's base, which is why it was so popular to fight over them before. It's like the position with the church in particular is very strong.
Yeah, even though the other side is stronger, right? Because the church only has 2 windows from that side. And
I can't remember. Sometimes you can have 2 dudes shooting out of each window. We'll see if that happens this game. I know in Samoa the church lets you do that. I don't know if it's the same here, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, so today's players are Havoc and Ray. I mean, I like casting Ray because I love his games. So I have him on the show quite some times. So I've seen him play live as well, and just his micro is so really good. Losing the captain though, now I'm saying that, so this always happens, right? I jinxed it.
That's pretty classic, yeah. I was surprised to see Havoc run there. It looked like he was very close to capping that plus 10, but really valuing the health on his squad there. And I'm opening up the attack map, and this is an aggressive start here from Ray. None of the south has been capped. He doesn't even have his plus 16. He just wants to deny the high fuel from his opponent. But there's other fuel on the map. You can get plus 10 from the other side, which is what Havoc's doing now, so interested to see if this actually creates a big lead for Ray or not, because right now he's actually just behind in resources.
Yeah, and even the captain he just rebuilt also goes straight to this point. And he's using the the pioneer to remove the barbed wire to get some more green cover.
Oh yeah, they do start. I forgot they start with wire cutters. Most squads need to level up the sweeper. But wow, this is an important fight here. That it looks like Havoc might win. It's close. It's hard to say. He's got a lot of low models here.
Ooh, Ray can lose his bike again.
Yeah, is he gonna throw away another bike? Oops. Wow,
both sides really close. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Yeah, I have a calling it now as well.
Not happy about it.
Yeah, really close.
I do like his position better though. I mean, Ray has not even begun to cap that other plus 10. So the fuel income is even. They're both really low. And actually, I want to say that low fuel income benefits Havoc because the general game plan with DAK is to get a lead and get the flak out or rush the 8-rad, right? Yeah. And slowing that down and giving your opponent time to get a really big infantry army, maybe even get a Vickers, before you have to tech up, I think that's good for Havoc. He's going to be happy that he can, field triple section, and there's just still no risk of there being any tech units coming out.
Yeah, and also like what I said with the Muni, because as DAK, you also want your B grants to have that the upgrade, your weapon upgrade, right? So And Ray is
Yeah,
not
that's
having
a
a
really
lot
good point.
of... It just doesn't have the muni income now as well. Havoc also placed a really cheeky mine at the bottom fuel.
Oh yeah, that's definitely for the bike there.
Yeah,
I like that he
definitely.
put it on the side that you wouldn't think. You know, the bike is probably going to come from the middle of the map to go there, so pretty good foresight there from Havoc.
Great map design, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, he
that-
doesn't like this cutoff, but I think if he could see the map, he would realize that this isn't actually that bad for him. That he's been ahead on fuel this whole time.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's the same at the moment, right? So, and now he got the cutoff, so now he's ahead.
People really don't like cutoffs, and I've never quite. I guess I understand. I guess I do understand it. It's people don't like feeling like one point on the map is really important, but I personally enjoy cutoff gameplay. I think it adds a lot of excitement because there's always the potential of losing a lot of resources suddenly. So I mean, it changes how you have to play the map. But I can sympathize for people who feel frustrated by losing a lot of resources.
Yeah, I think so as well. But yeah, in the end, he's ahead now in resource gain, right? So.
Yeah, and he's been ahead basically the whole time. Ray equalized it a couple of times temporarily, but Havoc basically has stayed ahead this entire early game here.
Yeah. So this kind of proves my point from when I'm playing. It's like that I shouldn't maybe overcommit too much on that top fuel cutoff.
Not if you can't cap those points, you know?
Yeah, you don't...
If you're just denying them, it's not that amazing unless you've got like your whole side of the map. If the map is 50-50 and you take the cutoff, that's amazing. If you've kept nothing and take the cutoff, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually swept the mine there. That you pointed out earlier.
Yeah, that's great. He got a minesweeper. He didn't go for the flamer on that squad. But probably because he knows I haven't had control on that side of the map. So there are probably some mines over there.
Yeah, this is a map where I think the flamethrower is really valuable, but the way Ray's playing it, it's like the bottom side of the map and the middle doesn't exist. So I guess you don't need a flamethrower if you're never going to fight near the buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, now he's gonna lose his own top side. So.
Supply lines are cut. Territory is isolated.
And Havoc does have the flamer, which he can unban. The bike fed one, I always like it. It's sometimes really hard to get. For me at least. But yeah. It can be such a game changer for fights.
Yeah, it's tough because you want to cap with the bike, right? And so then it ends up not in combat or near combat. But yeah, it's definitely worth getting. As you say, the buff I get 15% accuracy is just incredibly meaningful. I'm really curious what Ray's plan is here. Okay, he's teching fire sport elements. I guess he just didn't. He knew he didn't have the fuel to get anything out of it, but letting his mechanized group Collins sit unused for quite a while. That's pretty rare at a high level. Usually at about 6 minutes, 6:30, you see something get called in because you want the option to get a second one right at minute 12. But pretty late Panzerjäger here.
Yeah, and he also had to tech for the med trip first as well because of losing so much health on this grenadiers. Which he could also heal with the 250, right? So.
Right. I mean, I feel like that was the old school, like quote unquote, correct way to play. Was you were supposed to wait until the 250 to heal, and you didn't want to delay your tech with the. But the meta has changed a little bit for DAK. I feel like people are playing slower. There's less of this desperate urge to close the game, as I think perhaps people are just getting more comfortable with the faction. And the med truck, I think, in part because people have discovered how good the Vet 1 is, and in part, actually, I don't know. I'm not totally confident on why people have shifted away from fast teching and towards the med truck. I think the infantry lethality changes have something to do with it. You know, going a lot of infantry squads is more viable than it was, so that may have something to do with it. But in any case, it's really interesting to see. I would love him to move it out of his base, though.
Yeah, that's what I see a lot, or more as well. I saw some Orange Pass games where he also just placed it in base, just probably because the risk of losing it. But yeah, I see even high-level players just indeed keep it in base and just put it on the break. So
you have to wonder if it's not also just a CoH3 habit of Because you didn't take it out of the base really in 1v1 and CoH3, and
Enemy forces hold
there was
our
no reason
victory
to.
point,
So
Commandant.
Yeah, that's yeah. But even with the risk of the Metric having lower HP as well, and you can just be killed by one shot by the AT gun without the smoke. Yeah, I don't think that. There was an interesting trade there from Ray. He could have maybe gone for that, but then on his retreat path he probably would have lost his own pioneers as well.
yeah, I don't think DAK ever wants to trade units. I think it's just not worth it. So good call there. It's a weird game, man. Both because of the delay to the fuel, it feels like both players
Capture point
didn't
is being taken from us.
necessarily feel like rushing light vehicles was that worth it. And so we're getting an 11-minute flak furling, which is about as late as I've ever seen someone call this in. And on the other side, Havoc not building anything, not teching Stewart, not going Humber. He's getting grenades now, but just no vehicles at all.
Well, he is going for the heavy armor, so maybe he's just sitting for the Crusader.
That's true, and actually, it looks like he has the CPs for it, so he may call it in. And if he does, Ray's in trouble. He doesn't have much to answer this. He does have a lot of resources banked, so actually, he canceled the flak furling.
Hey, he did. But yeah, the Jaeger in the 250 won't do much for him against. So
no, he needs a pack. Really, is what he needs.
Cut off.
Unless he's going to do something like pick the Caro Armado, which does it does get pinned by the Crusader A. So I don't know actually how well. I don't know how many you need. I don't know the number, but anyway, the Crusader A is here, and Ray is not ready for it basically at all.
No, he is not. And Havoc is now doing a good job of barbed wiring the cutoff as well. So it's really hard to retake that position now.
Hardline defenses and structures are available for
It always
It
is.
took a few years, but people are finally using barbed wire in the meta now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, nice play here from the Crusader. He drove it through the hedge so the bike couldn't see it coming.
Oh,
But will he get out microed here? No.
ooh, there was a long range. The last shot was pretty far. I thought it was going away.
Our territory is in enemy hands.
Yeah, that's a great retreat there, because otherwise he's gonna lose the whole squad.
Ray queuing up 2 AT guns, so Havoc's window for this to be an uncongested unit is closing. But this is a pretty tough map to move around the packs on. There's a lot of shot blockers on both sides of the map, especially middle and south.
Yeah, definitely.
And curious to see how this goes now.
But the 250 can take some shots before it goes down. So, but yeah, the Jaegers can only get a 1, maybe 2 shots on the Crusader before having to retreat.
Yeah, if you can find green cover, sometimes you can win that fight if there's nothing else around, no other units shooting at you, but it's still hard even when you're in green cover, because as we can see, the Crusader A does pretty well against infantry.
Yeah.
Tech crew is reporting in.
Oh yeah, these spires are in trouble as well.
Enemy forces have
They don't
captured
take a
the
good
victory
fight there
point.
against the Flamers.
First LMG finally on the field
Our enemy
for
has the
Ray
upper
here.
hand. We have
And when you
seen our
oh, second one now hitting too, so
Hold
he's
any
getting there
victory
with
point.
his
How could
upgrades.
this happen?
Yeah, definitely. And on the top side he is having a good fight, but Havoc is now coming in. And now he has to be careful not to lose these B grants. Oh nice, Ray's using that ground to kill the cover from the Tommies there.
Yeah, very cool.
But it's having
He is revealing he has 2 packs, but maybe he'd rather Havoc not attack him right now anyway.
yeah, I think so too, because he's getting triple cap now. He's in a really tough spot, I feel like, at the moment.
We have only 250 points remaining.
Yeah, I mean the general wisdom is that UKF has a better late game. Once you start getting up to Crusaders and Grants and Matildas, it's pretty tough. You know, the Pack 38 alone doesn't cut it. Using the, you know, the 88 against things like recon artillery is tough. So you definitely don't want to go into the late game behind, but it looks like what Ray is going to do.
Yeah, because of the threat of having to face a Black Prince as well, and with the recon RT, which can just well, knock out your AT really fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, both of the options at the end of that left-hand tree for heavy armor are scary. You know, the Black Prince obviously very scary with the changes. It's pretty good against infantry now. It's very good against the Tiger. And the Churchills too are tough to deal with. You know, they're slow, so they can't. You know, it's not like they're unbeatable, but you need a lot of AT on the field, and you're just gonna bleed a lot fighting them. Ray calling a Guastatori here, so he does have a. Maybe this was always his plan for if he needed flamethrowers, but he does have an answer to the buildings now.
The P-Grants on the top side have to be careful, because they can get chased.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky Havoc was, I think, microing elsewhere. He does have a pack backing him up, so I guess he actually wasn't in that much danger.
Yeah, maybe the Guastatoris can swing some fights for him. If they don't come in contact with the Crusader at least, because otherwise they will just bleed models.
Yeah, this long early game has also meant that, you know, we've already got 2 Vet 2 infantry sections. So that makes it harder for the Guastatori, you know, to come in at Vet 0 so late. They're going to be behind the Vet curve here for sure. The ZSL definitely helps with that, but I think it's still a concern.
Yeah, especially with the Brand guns, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gap closing can get pretty tough. Do you think we'll see a Canone this game?
Would be pretty interesting. But I don't know. I mean, will it swing fights for him, or I feel like you need to get some good shots off if you want to make it work, right? Especially
I don't really think it's a strong. I don't think it's a very strong 1v1 option.
And it's unfortunate. You don't really have much indirect. In 1v1s, it's just always lacking a bit if you're not super ahead and can just shoot at the enemy base.
Yeah, the League I think can be used. Some of the mortars can be used, but 1v1's just a more mobile game mode. You know, people are constantly shifting around. It's not very often that there's a one camp setup where you can fire at that like there is in team games. So
no,
the value of indirect just goes down.
That's definitely true. I don't think that changed from CoH3, right? I don't think big indirect was used there often in 1v1s as well.
See all these squads to do here. The Bren has to go home, so this should actually be a one fight.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if...
You know, about indirect, I also think that because the meta is so infantry heavy and so not weapon team heavy, that influences it too. Like, if we ever get to a point where like 2 or 3 main lines is all you want, and people are really relying on weapon teams, that obviously the value of artillery goes up. But in the current meta, we can see the builds 3 main line is like the minimum, and often there's other infantry on the field.
Yeah, that's still what I in 1v1s have to. I just kind of always have the habit that I just build 3 main lines. I mean, that's kind of what I always did in CoH3 when playing as the British. But I have to build more main lines in the current meta at least. But I also hope that they will shift it a bit more towards having to use some team weapons as well, because I like the combined arms play a lot more.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what CoH's all about, right?
Yeah, definitely. There was a good nade in the bottom to swing that fight.
Yeah, he could chase this. He's got Vet 2. Does that give accuracy? It does. Okay, yeah. So he could potentially wipe this, but it looks like no Crusader's looking for it, but meets a PJ. So
yeah,
pretty important not to lose that there.
Yeah, Ray's really lucky there.
Wow, this fight went really well for the PJ. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I was just trying to say that because the Rakers did really well against that Crusader there.
You would think at that range, but you know, very very important win for him because that first Crusader is slowed down there, because there was a window here where with double Crusader, you know, Havoc might have been able to apply some pressure. But as I say that, the P3 is out, so Ray actually pretty safe now against the Crusaders.
They request orders.
Did he retrofit the Crusader? Or did he lose that? Did I just totally miss that?
He retrofit. I'm almost certain. I'll double check here, but
Because he called in two Crusaders at the same time, so
yeah. Actually, we can tell because there's no vehicle kills for Ray on the scoreboard.
Yeah,
so.
definitely, yeah.
Unspooling wire. Gloves on.
I was like, I'll be missing this totally because sometimes I have that I just totally miss the obvious, but.
I really like this early-ish armored vehicle training here for Havoc. The Crusader Vet 1 is incredibly good. It really lets the Crusader sort of fulfill its role as a mobile strike force. The speed and acceleration it gets. I mean, obviously the rate of fire is nice too, but I think the move speed on it really lets you dive in, kill stuff, leave safely, which is important for a tank that only has 600 HP and 100 front armor. So that move speed is very sort of integral to the vehicle's utility.
Yeah, especially against these two AT guns, you want to be out of the arc. As quickly as
it can make a difference
possible.
between getting hit or not and losing the vehicle or not.
I mean, Ray
The enemy has taken a victory point.
is like countering that with just the P3, which is pretty interesting. Because the P3 needs some upgrades to be good, to become better, right? So.
Our victory point
Yeah,
has
he's
been
got none
neutralized by the
right
enemy.
now. So he'll definitely want to get smoke as soon as he can. And obviously rapid advance and the repair kits are both
Proximity
great.
alarm.
But if you wait with smoke and you don't go for flag fearling, is smoke still like always the one you go first before like the auto repair?
I think usually just because it can prevent the same reason the Crusader Vet 1's good, right? Losing units is bad. And
Definitely,
the smoke can come faster because it's 200 versus 325, right?
Yeah.
And it lets you keep units alive because of the you press a button and you can't be targeted. So it makes a big difference in the survivability of the unit. So I would generally say smoke first. The only time I would get auto repair first is if for some reason I have a lot of vehicles that need to be repaired and I don't have either vehicle upgrade, which is weird. You should never be at that point. But if you are, it happens sometimes. Then I'll occasionally click auto repair because I don't feel like I can repair all my vehicles fast enough. But yeah, generally I think smoke first.
Or maybe if you're like
is going
playing
to
Bristoliaries, right? You can get into that position where you lose your
Yeah, that's
bios.
true. Where you really don't have reps. Yeah.
Oh, there's the engine crit, and the AT gun is setting up. Probably not killing it, but
No vision. So Ray should be safe there.
AT gun should set up a little bit more forward.
Yeah, definitely could have gotten a couple more shots off on those Crusaders. Maybe push this a little harder, but yeah, a little slow to move those AT guns from the middle is
The
gonna
victory point is being taken from us.
let Havoc win this fight.
Yeah, that ability, the mortar, is really good to deny because it deals a lot of damage if you stand on that point.
Proximity alarm.
Yeah,
Near our
and
victory
usually
point.
I would criticize this. I think Ray's still missing an MG34. Maybe you don't want to spend that many, but he's low on VPs, so I think he really is trying to just make sure he can hold on to the VPs as long as possible, so he can stay in this game. He has capping top though, so yeah, I don't know. I might go back to my original take and say that was kind of a waste of
Our
munitions.
victory point
Yeah,
is being neutralized by the enemy.
well, Havoc lost one. He lost one of
model.
those models. Yeah, so he denied the cap there for a little.
Grasp of ammunition
Getting
It's an
point.
expensive model kill.
Oh,
80
yeah,
munitions.
Victory point lost. The territory sector has been claimed by the enemy. Artillery battery.
Well, I hope Ray can hold on because I would love to see a Tiger come out and fight a Black Prince this game.
Oh, yeah,
Given that
would be-
Havoc has an unlocked Churchill, I feel like he's going Black Prince.
Yeah, he's at 5. He's at 5 CP, right? So he only needs
Yeah,
2
6
more.
now, very close.
Oh, there comes a good nade. Didn't do much damage.
No, there was two. It was on 2 squads, so it seems like nades have like a damage cap total they can do, and so when they hit multiple targets, they're just not going to do as much.
Is that like also for like the bundle nade? Because I think it was this weekend I threw like a bundle nade on, I mean, 4 retreating Tommy squads, or E Grand Squads. And I mean, I almost wiped every one of them.
I am not sure. I've definitely seen it with like tank shells and stick grenades. I do not know if there's no damage cap on the bundled one. That's a good question. It's a question for Tightrope. You got to get the other bald guy on your cast here to answer questions like that.
Oh yeah.
The enemy has
It would be
dropped
awesome to
P3
get
on
the
this fight.
Tightrope on the
The
cast
fight
as well. Yeah,
continues.
definitely.
Second P3 out. Does he still have no upgrades? Looks like yes. Still
Our
no
munitions
smoke.
point is being neutralized
Oh,
by
still
the
no
enemy.
smoke.
Just valuing units, and he does have a lot of infantry to reinforce. So maybe feeling like
Yeah,
he can't
Crusader
spend
might go
manpower.
down.
Taken from us.
Yeah.
Interested
That's a
to
nice
know
pickup.
what Havoc was thinking there to do like the frontal assault there with his Crusaders instead of trying to flank around.
Victory point under
Yeah,
enemy control.
that's a fair point.
You might have
I mean, I
thought,
think he wanted to just screen for the infantry, but I agree. I think the correct play there would have been to flank. Anytime you're playing against multiple AT guns, you really can't approach from the front.
yeah, maybe he was thinking he got like he got him off guard, or like there was not everything was there, but
Well, I like this play though. Sending the Crusaders up north. This is a tough retreat path for this PG squad.
definitely. And they are so clumped up, so the models, like the damage from
Yeah.
each shot, if they hit though, because they are missing a lot. These,
Yeah, pretty easy pickup there.
yeah. Luckily for Ray, those didn't have the upgrade yet.
That is exactly what I was going to say. So it's of the PGs to lose. It's the best one. But obviously, hurts a lot. Maybe he'll get the upgrades now in the vehicle since he doesn't have to reinforce that squad.
Oh yeah, he does have the manpower, so. And he definitely needs the upgrades, but he is going for another P3, so.
It's so interesting. I really...
I mean, the value of like an extra PG or like the upgrades. I feel like this conversation you have a lot with taking a third PG or like VSL.
Yeah.
So, kind of interested to know what the choice is here. Oh, that's a good nade.
I think he actually Oh, it looked like he actually got the Muni back because it wasn't finished.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to ask. Is if you
I'm
do
not
you
sure if he
loot like
canceled it or if it got destroyed. Yeah, I couldn't tell. It's possibly canceled it. It looked like he got the. He looks like he got the munitions back right as the grenade went off, though. So I feel like it.
I mean, it
just
does.
counts as a cancel, which is pretty
It
funny.
does go on a timer, right? So when you move away after a certain time, it goes away. So maybe like the timer.
Yeah, definitely possible.
Now the now the metric went to the middle. Probably a misclick.
Man, it
But
could
now
be Vet 1 by now, too. That feels like a big... The amount of shots that the Crusaders have taken from the pack, that's enough damage, I think, for Vet 1 on the metric, so...
Oh
I
yeah.
think definitely a missed opportunity there.
Oh, there was a big shot on these Tommies. There goes one Tommy squad. Can he also get like the sappers? They are out of harm's way. But like these other ones have to be careful. Now the
I wonder what
Tommies
happened
also.
with Mike Ring, maybe in the south? Surprised he lost that, Tommy.
Yeah.
250 has been destroyed.
250 goes down though. And now we got a snare. This is a good dive. He also finds the repair base here. He takes out the AT gun as well. And now these other Tommies have a really nasty retreat path as well. But Ray goes for the repair base first. And he doesn't get
targets
it.
coming in, trying to apply some pressure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a little surprised he doesn't right-click that, but I guess really doesn't want to risk losing anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the designate targets one. So how is that ability? I always feel like the other one is being chosen, right? That's the recon arm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's strong. It's a lot cheaper. It's got a lower cooldown.
It
So
also
I did
gives
think-
vision, right? So
and also gives vision. Yeah, they're both loiters. So Yeah, I think they're both good. I think it depends a little bit on what your opponent's doing. I actually would have gone Recon Arty here just because it's double pack, no flak furling.
Oh yeah.
But
Enemy forces have
Havoc's got a
captured
lot of
the
experience in this
victory
matchup, so if he says this is good, I'm sure it's totally viable.
Probably maybe against like to swing the fights for the Crusaders against the P3s.
Yeah, and you know what else? That's a really good point. And I think also anticipating perhaps the Tiger, it does make it a little easier to fight the
Yeah,
Tiger.
because it also gives like penetration and easier to hit. So I like how Havoc is like having like one engineer squad on the top side of the map, just behind the hedge. So if Ray caps it and doesn't see it, he can instantly just walk back and cap it.
Yeah, that's cool. Although it could probably go to the cutoff now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe he forgot about it. Shouldn't.
No, no, no.
I don't
We're gonna
think
give him
so.
credit here. This is obviously intentional where he put it, so we're gonna
Yeah,
give him credit
definitely.
and say this is a VP consideration here.
So the repair base is repaired, so that's nice. Not losing that. That's
We're losing grasp of a victory
a lot
point.
of value.
I guess they can fix themselves, huh?
Enemy
Yeah, I mean,
counter 200
Havoc is
points.
he has a lot of repairability with like all these engineers and even the repair base. So
We have lost
and now the
control of
engineers go
victory point.
towards high fuel. But there's something also coming there to help out.
Well, Black Prince is gonna come just in time. It feels like Havoc losing control, but I think a lot of that's because he was banking so much resources, and now the Black Prince is here. In about 5 or 10 minutes, it'll hit the field, and then Ray will be in trouble.
Oh yeah, definitely. He probably doesn't have the upgrade for the Tiger yet.
No, he does not have armored reserves, so he's quite a bit of fuel away. I mean, obviously building a lot of P3s is gonna delay that Tiger.
Oh yeah,
We
definitely.
shall put an end to this fight.
Yeah, the engineers who were capping the top sides returned back home after getting pushed off by the palm grants, right? Which now have to retreat as well, otherwise they're gonna be chased down. I don't
This is
think
so
he will lose
familiar.
that.
I feel like we've seen this before.
Oh, the Black Prince is already here. It's already here. Did he have... No, he only had 2 Crusaders, right? He didn't retrofit one.
Oh man, I know he built 3, 1 died, and then he went Black
Yeah.
Prince.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, it's only 180 fuel, so... Ooh, these... Oh, that's not retreating. Probably because it didn't want to go... I mean, I like that micro. Even though it does... It still dies. I always like these soft retreats to get a more favorable retreat path.
Yeah.
And it also...
Ooh,
This is a nice trade if he gets this.
Yeah, that's really important because he's falling behind in infantry a little bit here. So
Oh, it also dropped
Picking
the
that up.
flamer.
Medtruck inexplicably out on the map. I think someone needs to remind Ray about the handbrake button.
I think so as well, because it was the second time, so he probably missed. He probably selected with his units. Yeah.
Look how
it
the middle of the
shows.
map as the other RE goes down, it's covered in scorch marks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Commandant, you have available command point.
Oh, there comes the designated target.
Our victory point is being neutralized by the
Probably
enemy.
to just give some vision, to know what's there before pushing. Oh, these Tommies have to retreat. I mean, both players have lost a lot in that, or at least.
Yeah.
So, I think I see tungsten having research, right? Ray having researched the tungsten, because I see different tracers now on the P3s.
Yeah, you're right. He got smoke and tungsten now, so he finally got some upgrades. I guess 3 was the magic number with the P3s, and now he feels like it's worth,
Now it's
worth investing in them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And speaking of investing, Armored Reserves is being teched by Ray. We're a couple of minutes from the Tiger, so we could see the Black Prince versus Tiger matchup that I was hoping to see.
Yeah. Black Prince taking a lot of damage. Oh,
Yeah, tungsten, meaningful, definitely meaningful. I'd love to. I'm not sure what the P3 regular pen values are, but 440 front armor, you're gonna need all the pen you can get.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Enemy forces have captured a victory
You know, it's worth
point.
noting, we haven't talked about it, the prepared positions from Italian Infantry is actually a big difference maker for these packs. You know, usually fighting against stuff like Crusaders and Black Princes, it's hard to keep these packs alive, but
Oh yeah, and also
if you've
gives
got
extra vision.
33% incoming damage reduction, it becomes much easier.
Yeah, it's also really good for the Flak 88 as well, right? So,
Yeah, very true.
but even like for the Flak 88 as well, like just the 7 vision range is a lot, or at least a lot. It's pretty decent to have that extra vision.
Yeah, 7's a big number. Usually, like for infantry, the vision upgrade or weapons teams, it's 5 that you get, and only recon vehicles get 10 or more. So yeah, it's definitely a significant amount. And it's nice for these packs to be able to self-spot a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, normally you don't need it, right? If you, but if it has to self-spot, then the 7 vision is really nice.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to do. I mean, anytime there's nothing between the enemy and your weapons team, something has gone wrong, generally speaking. But
Yeah. So Ray is having to offer abandon a lot of the map now to play close to each other. And now he's
yeah, the Black Prince has that effect on army compositions.
Oh yeah, and losing the metric as well. Now these pioneers have to retreat with full models, but like no health. So they will just come back onto the field with nothing, nothing. So
Yeah, he's in a tough position here because obviously he wants to wait for the Tiger, but he's running out of VPs, so he doesn't have long that he can wait. It's going to be very close. You know, the time between the Tiger coming on the field and
yeah, if he can just
whether or not this game ends.
Hold out for like this with 1 VP, then he can maybe solve it. But if he gets triple cap, it's gonna be really fast.
We are being pushed back. Only 75 points remain.
Yeah, no healing as well in the base. That's harsh.
Yeah, as you say, he's got a lot of squads now that are very low HP. So, yeah, that minor mistake there might end up costing him a lot because it's going to really change the course of this, you know, the next few minutes here that he can't heal his infantry.
Yeah, especially
Capping against the Black Prince isn't easy when you're full health.
Oh, this is big! There was a mine there!
Oh my god, there was a teller there.
Oh,
I think that was his teller.
I mean, you always get these, like, if you place your own mine, it's always gonna be, it always backfires towards you. And losing both, oh, that's, oh, I mean, this is game, right?
Oh my god, it feels like it, yeah. Even if the Tiger hits now,
Yeah, it hits.
he's just so behind losing this. It's so funny.
So unfortunate
I would really love
as well.
anyone from Relic, if you're watching, can we get a little like red highlight on the mines or something? It's so hard to, or blue highlight. They're very hard to see.
Oh, yeah,
it's hard to
definitely.
see your own mines. I like now you can see enemy mines a lot easier, but it's still not easy to see your mines. And like on these scorch marks, like that mine was basically invisible.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It
I
was
didn't
not
notice it,
possible to
so
see.
and we were like focused with the camera there, so I didn't notice it at all. And then you get this unlucky shot which misses both and then just hits that mine. Oh man, that's so unlucky.
Havoc making another frontal assault here with the.
Tiger hit the side armor, but did
Crusaders.
like no damage. Oh, now it
You know
is.
what can happen is sometimes a miss. Wow, there we go. The projectile actually misses, but the scatter places it on the ground near the side armor.
Oh, yeah,
so it's like
definitely.
you're not actually getting a real shot.
Oh yeah, now the Tiger is in trouble. Because even though these guys are not upgraded. I mean, now you can see the value of this call-in as well, right? Getting the extra
Yeah,
penetration and the chance to hit. Yeah, that's losing a Tiger. I mean, this was kind of the definition of mines win game, but not your own mine. So
Not the way you'd imagine it.
no, definitely not. Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
so
I like Havoc's
unfortunate.
position. Yeah, very unfortunate. I thought Havoc was in a really good spot. I think it would have been a hard game for Ray to win, but I think
Definitely.
he could have won it until he lost both P3s to his own Tellermine, and yeah, that definitely still sealed the deal.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. This game could have such a great finale, and now it got also a really great finale, but in a different way. Oh man. That was I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that mine to just blow up in his own face like that. Oh man, that's really unlucky. Oh. What?
That's why in real life people put signs
Yeah,
where the
definitely.
minefields are.
Yeah,
It's easy to forget.
we need to have these OKW OKW signs again.
Exactly.
Oh man. Oh, that was. Thank you for casting this game with me. I'm just a little flabbergasted by that last portion of the game. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun. It was a great game. These are two of the best to do it, so it's always
Yeah.
fun watching them in action.
Yeah, definitely. So, to you, Daniel F, maybe any last words on this game? Anything people can take from it?
Yeah, I think we saw, Havoc struggle a little bit when he was attacking frontally, especially without the designate targets. And I think it kind of gave Ray a chance to get back into the game. I think if he'd been a little more patient with the way he used his vehicles, he might have been able to close it earlier. And I think in general too, we can see both players not losing units for a long time.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the number one things for me that separates really strong players from players who are just okay, is until there's threats on the field like the Crusader or the P3 that can chase you down and kill you no matter what you're doing, good players generally don't lose units, and that's to me is it's a hallmark of strong play, and we saw that on display. In mid and late game, obviously it gets harder. You're microing across the map.
Yeah, definitely.
In the early game, it's always skill issue, right? If you lose a unit, and we didn't see any skill issues in the first 15 or so minutes of this game.
No, yeah. Only maybe like the bike loss there was a bit unfortunate, but I mean, I feel like losing like these light vehicles sometimes is really RNG on the penetration. Sometimes like every model hits and penetrates, and it just drops down. So much hell. And then
yeah, that's true. If you're gonna play so careful that there's no way to lose the ultralight, you're not gonna have high impact with it. You do have to do a little bit of dice rolling when you're playing with stuff like the Cat.
Oh yeah,
that's I agree with that.
Yeah, I also really like how this game displayed that focusing like your full army on the top side doesn't really impact the game much if you don't have like something on the bottom side.
Yeah,
I feel like even though you have this cutoff, and Havoc was like, oh man, these cutoffs, he still like was ahead in having anything. So in his
I do actually. I got one more last word here, which is that I think it's very hard to tell what's happening in the fog of war, and I think a lot of players assume it's going worse than it is. And even at the top level, we can see, right, Havoc. I feel confident in saying that Havoc thought he was losing when he was talking about the cutoff, right?
Yeah.
But he wasn't. And I think that's often the case when I do replay reviews. I think people talk about how they felt like they were behind at certain points. When we look at we with the whole picture see they're not. And so I think that's another good takeaway from this is that, it's not bad to assume your opponent's doing the right thing, but it's also the case that it's, I think people often underestimate their own position in the game, and they make decisions that are too conservative because of that, or they make decisions that are perhaps too risk taking because of that. They think they're behind when they're really not. It's why reviewing replays is so valuable. If you're ever not sure, if you ever think, oh man, I was losing so badly here, it's good to look at the replay, and sometimes you'll go, oh man, he really. If I had counted the units, right? If Havoc had counted the units he saw, he could have theoretically gone, okay, there's no way he's capping the bot side here because all of this guy's units are here.
Yeah, definitely, because he had like the Pio and 2 Pigrans there, and he killed the Captain, so he should have known that there was nothing on the other side of the map, or at least not as far as he would probably have guessed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's a great take indeed. Yeah, I have that sometimes as well, where I click surrender because I'm like, no way I'm coming back after this fight, and then I see the view and I see how many units he has on the field, and I'm like, oh, I could have definitely got this for at least 10 minutes more or something. So
for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a great take as well. Well, thank you for casting this with me. I had a blast. It was really fun.
Yeah,
So,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, so thank you. And thanks you guys for watching. And hopefully you saw some great moments and learned something as well. I'll see you guys later.